Good afternoon, boys and girls. I hope gym class is great. I would like to share a story with you. So, today, as I was driving into work, I saw a deer in the road. When I saw a deer, I stopped and I freaked out a little bit, and I called my mom. And my mom said, "Sarah, you have to calm down. The deer is more afraid of you than you are afraid of him." And I said, "Okay, Mom, thank you." And the deer slowly but surely moved away from my car. Now, that was my story I shared with you, and this is going to be directly connected to our lesson today about plot and theme. Now, yesterday we learned about how to recognize the setting and characters of a story, and today we're going to learn about two important concepts of a story, the plot and theme. These concepts will be very important to you not only today, but you're going to use them in upper level English classes when you have to write essays about thematic topics, or when you're telling a story just like I did. The plot of the story is the main events of the story, and the theme of the story is the message you take away from the story. On your desk is a note card, two note cards, one for plot and one for theme. I broke them down into different colors so that you wouldn't be able to mistake them because they are two tricky concepts in English, but I have no doubt with practice that you guys will get them. So for plot, or the main events of the story, I wrote a little hint to all of you. Look at the P and think of points, because the plot are the main points of the story. And for theme, I wrote a note to you guys saying T. Look at the T. The T can stand for take-away message of the story. This is the overall, overarching message that you gathered. So let's take a look at my example. The plot of my story that I told you guys today about the scary deer was that I was driving to school. I saw a deer in the road. I called my mom because I was scared. She said, "Sarah, why are you freaking out? It's just a deer. It's more scared of you than you are scared of him." And then I relaxed a little, and the deer moved away. But the theme of that story, I think, is not to work myself up, not to be anxious over something that is only temporary. So, let's delve into this a little more. The other day, when we were learning about setting and characters, we read one of my favorite stories, Up. And we talked about the setting and characters and how crucial they are or important they are to the story. Now, today we're going to focus on one character, Doug. And I brought him here in class to remind you to focus on him as a character and the things he does in the story. Now, if we were going to talk about the plot or what happens specifically to Doug, because Up is a long, long story, so we're going to focus specifically on Doug, and then later we'll expand to the rest of the story. So, why don't you group up and talk about what you think the plot is, and then I want you all to pass in answers to me at the end of 5 minutes. So, all of you did a really great job. I picked one answer that I thought was really great and we could share out loud in class. So, this answer says, Doug is a part of a pack of dogs who talk. He finds Russell and Carl and tries to befriend them. He goes on a journey with them and stays with them after. Now this was really great because it was brief or short, and it hit the main points of what happened to Doug, because there's a lot that happened in the story, but remember, we're just focusing on this guy for a second. Now, I wrote it in green because remember, we're going to focus on the color green for plot, and I hope you referenced your note cards and remember that green meant to think about points. Now, as far as the theme of what happened to Doug, what do you think? I picked up this answer because I thought it was really cool. Adventure. Now, this is a great theme because it describes the overall message that Doug went through. This guy went through a lot in the story, but overall, I would say, and so this student would say, the main theme of what happened to Doug was about adventure. Some other great answers were about friendship or loyalty. Those were really great too. A story can have multiple themes. All right? So great job, everyone. For homework, I want you guys to go on this great website where it will give you a little quiz to review of what we learned today. It's going to give you a story and you're going to have to pick out the plot and theme. You guys are going to get so great at this, I can just tell. Now, to review what we learned today, we learned a lot about plot and theme. I shot a lot of information at you guys, but I know that you really understood it by the way you were responding. So, to review, plot in our green note card or poster on our board is about the main events of the story, and I want you to think what? Right, points. And theme is the message you took away from the story, and I want you to think takeaway message. Great job, everyone. Now, I can't wait to start talking to you more about plot and theme, and we're going to be writing our own stories tomorrow, where I want you to underline the plot in green and the theme in yellow. All right? Thanks so much for paying attention. You guys are great today. I'll see you tomorrow.